Okay, Michelle here again. I did a video. I haven't posted it yet. I'll post it soon. But this is like a follow up to the video. Just a thought I had specifically about the help the gentleman garnered for the weeding of the yard and the fact that the young lady turned up. I forgot to make a couple points, right? One point was one of the babies definitely was hers. Thinking about it now, I don't know if any more belong to her. Maybe one belonged to the young lady she brought, or the other two young lady, because some of them have babies young here, so you don't know what the age is and so on. So it's possible that because asked, I specifically asked him to get women because I'm not sure um, if the men themselves weed, because that's another thing. Based on what I've heard so far, the men would be hired for the more difficult job of chopping bush, clearing your property, and there are trees there sometimes, so they chop. And the women, if you want to weed, it's usually likely that you ask the women to weed. However, I guess in thinking about that a little bit more deeply, if you ask the women are the ones who are left at home with the kids. So this is likely the reason why they came here with so many kids. All of them were women, it seems. And I guess whether each of them had a child or not, I guess it would be understandable why they turned up with four kids. Maybe she needed a company or needed a help. I don't know. But um, it was really, 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 it threw me off. It really threw me off to see her come. She said somebody else would be helping her, definitely. But I didn't think of the possibility of at all of her turning up with the baby because she came with the baby on her back as they usually do. They have the kids on their back, and she took him off. But the other three plus, let me tell you, I expected two-person, and eight came. Two persons and eight persons come. It just boggles my mind that having asked one person to do some weeding that she would be paid for, and she is saying that it would cost 100 cedis for her and somebody else to do it. So I expected two persons, and eight persons turning up is just, it's just way out there. So thinking about it more deeply and understanding that it's probably likely that one of the child is hers or two. Um, another child, another the other young lady who probably seemed to be her peer, same age group. Maybe she had one or two, and then the other two, no idea. But expecting two persons and eight turning up begs the question: is it wise to ask the women then? Since the women are the ones who will be looking after the babies, regardless of how much babies they have, they are the stay at home moms. And you ask them to weed your yard. There are a number of reasons why I'll ask them to use my yard, to weed my yard, preferably the women. The men are the ones that interact with the most because they are the workers. What are you doing in here, Milo? Right? And you want the women to have pocket money too. right? But how do you deal with the fact they have to move with so many kids, so many persons behind them? So I'm still asking that question. It's understandable based on what I think is the reason why so many turned up. But the possibility that they expect you to give all of them water, because no joke, I ended up using about half bag of water because the water that they brought with them could not have lasted all of them for the period of time they were here. And then they asked me, I gave them about a quarter bag of water. And then after that, they asked, they were hungry and they wanted water. So is it worth it in the end? Because logically, you are paying them to do the work. That's the price they gave you. But they brought so many persons with them who said they were hungry. I had to go cook something. I didn't have to, but I did. And here was the other kicker, right? I didn't have anything to eat, right? I was just negotiating with my daughter, who I told you was house sitting. I was just negotiating. I think I had a little over 100 CDs in my Momo. But if I sent all of that to my daughter, I would be stuck here. One, two, the gasoline that we bought on Saturday wasn't going to last till Friday. So I wanted to have that 50, right? The funny thing is, when I got, let me not go into that because I was going to talk about the fact that I told the gentleman to let me know what it would cost me before he engaged them, so that I would set aside money specifically for that and a time for that when I had the money. But he arranged for them to come, and I told him aside that I hadn't planned, didn't get the money yet. He said he would pay for it. He would pay them, which is good, but a little bit uncomfortable for me. One, two, I got some money from my brother, but that definitely was specifically for getting the gasoline. Anyway, if it's if I gave that 50 to do, if I wanted to use that 50, right? If I wanted to use that 50, I could not get a bike to go down to use the 50 because of fear to go and come. If I left my daughter, is 30. If I brought her, is 60. So I arranged with my daughter to send the things up. So I sent the 50 to her. I sent actually 60 CDs to her, and she bought some stuff and sent it up. So I was waiting on that to get something to eat for the evening, right? We got some stuff some time ago, and there were some things remaining. So there was this navy bean mixture. I think it's powdery mixture that I figured, okay, I had noodles. So I said I'd do that, drop the noodles in and fry a couple of eggs. Eggs is my staple. Keep buying eggs because you can put it with noodle, you can fry it with bread, you can even fry it with food, right? But anyway, so I said I'd do that. And when I handed it, well, the one who I engaged to actually do the work, I went out there and saw her with a plate, like she brought her food. I don't know if they had food too and just wanted me to give them more. So I gave the babies some tea because I have some chocolates. I gave them a cup of chocolate to help share with the babies. And then I did the noodle with the mix, the navy bean mix, soup mix. And I carried it out to them. And Carissa was sharing that she saw them picking it out and flicking it on the veranda. Yeah. So I went out there and I said, listen, if you guys don't want it, it's no problem giving it back to me. I don't always have food to eat. And what I don't eat, I have pets here. My dogs can eat it, the cats can eat it. So I prefer that you don't make a mess on the veranda. Because when you look, you saw noodles and splotchy food on the veranda. And while my veranda is not tiled, I don't want food messing it up. Right? So I said, I don't always have things to eat here. So don't, don't, please don't have a problem in returning it to me. I prefer you give it back to me rather than throw it out. Of course, at the end of the day, the shit they had like I understand. I don't know if they understood what I was saying. When they gave me back the containers, everything was washed out and handed back. But I'm here wondering if they tossed it to the dogs, but they tossed it to the dogs or I just don't know. Because the question is too, what I eat, do they eat what I eat? Because I didn't know whether or not they did. So it's a little bit concerning that I had to provide water for everybody out of my store, which is always, but anyway, and then find food. I had to find food for myself, but I also had to find food for them because I didn't want to. I couldn't bother try to explain that I can't afford it and I didn't have it really. I couldn't be bothered going to that, and neither did I want to say right out that I don't have any and I may seem as if I don't know. I don't know how to act in when I'm put on the spot like that. Do I go dig up and find food for these people who I didn't expect? Or do I just say I wasn't expecting you and I'm not required to? Or you just don't say you're not required, you just say you don't have it. Something that I question. How do you act in these situations when you're put on the spot like that? So that is something I wouldn't mind getting a response to still. But this one was specifically to point out that yes, they came unannounced, but there is an understandable reason why they probably had so many of those babies, 4 babies with them. But the fact that I expected 2 and got 8 was really, really concerning.